Also, being able to take advantage as a student is just fantastic. At the collegiate level, they have all sorts of programs and mentors and professors that can help. In the high school level, I know that this program is meant to help the high school students get more involved. So we're trying to continue to build out the programs of how to be an entrepreneur in the high school areas. So take advantage. Talk to your professors. How many of you guys go to a business class or a business and marketing class? Okay, most of you guys have done that before. Okay, great. So take advantage. Talk to your professors. They want to see you succeed as well. So you can use those resources. Do any of your schools offer any type of free tools, or are the libraries set up so that you guys can utilize the computers and internet, things like that? Yeah? Okay. Everybody's nodding their heads. This is a great time, honestly, to be able to utilize that and then pick up some of these mentors that will help you succeed in life. Okay. I wanted to bring a few principles that I've learned specifically through that Junto program that I told you about. There are 4 principles that I'm going to talk about today, and these 4 principles have really helped me to succeed. And as you're thinking about different ideas of businesses you might want to start, and it's never too early to start, these principles will help you to succeed with that venture, okay? So hopefully if you have a pen and a paper, write down some of these key principles, because it will help you. So I know you hate taking notes, we're not in school, but if you get a chance, right now is a good time to do it. So let's talk about this first. I'm a big believer that action exceeds almost anything. As you can see on the slide, action will exceed the planning, will exceed thinking, will exceed discussing and research. Now, this might be contrary to some of the things that you've been taught or that people will tell you, but I'll be honest. Even if your idea is not 100% prepared, or your business plan isn't 50 pages long, you can still do it. And if you put it into action and get out there on the streets and make it happen, get that business started, start selling right away, you're most likely going to have a better chance to succeed. And you know what? What I've been taught is to fail fast. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that before. Don't fail in school, but fail your business fast. If it's going to fail, make it fail fast so you don't spend a ton of time on it. That way, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years down the road, you got it done within a week or 2, or maybe a month. So that might help you to do it. I love this quote. It says, successful entrepreneurs are decisive and action-oriented, even if they have incomplete information. Sometimes entrepreneurs are thought of as these crazy guys and gals that start these businesses and don't really know where they're going. But action exceeds. So think about that. When you have a business idea, do it. Just make it happen. And you can do it right now in high school or in college. Let's talk about principle number 2. Make sure we're good on time. This is something that one of my mentors, his name is Alan Hall. He's a great man, a great entrepreneur here in Utah. He has taught me so much about this. His entire mentality is to, when you have your business idea, your thought, and putting it into action, it's about selling it first. Sell that idea, sell that product or service, even before you have it. Sell it. Has anyone had a sales type job before that's in the room? A few of you? Okay, good. You might have an idea. Most of you guys are selling every day. You don't even know it. When you guys are writing essays for your teachers, or you're presenting in class for a project, or you have teamwork that you're doing it with a team, you guys are selling yourselves. You're selling that project. You're selling that essay to your teacher. And your teacher will give you an A if you've sold it well enough. So you guys are all salesmen and saleswomen. You might not have thought of yourselves that way, but you all know how to sell. It's about that communication. If you have a business idea, sell first, because everything is solved with revenue. with money, right? Not in necessarily your personal life, but in a business, client revenue solves a lot of problems, okay? You got to sell to survive, of course. So sell your idea. If you have something, a gadget that you want to make that you think is going to be better, or a service, you're doing window washing or a lawn care business or whatever it is, go and knock on the doors and sell it before you start mowing somebody's lawn. You've got to have these clients to come in first. Something that I have a few people come to me and ask, they have these grand ideas of creating a software or a new Facebook, right, or a new Twitter, and they want to go out and build these products or services, and they want to spend a ton of money on it. So they want to go get investment money. They want to go talk to their parents and get money from them or their uncle. And then they want to spend a ton of time building whatever it is. And I'll be honest, if you can go out and sell that idea first to someone, and they actually write you a check and hand you a check because you sold them well on that idea, it'll be a heck of a lot easier to start that business. That's how I got Launch started. It was just me. I was in the house. I didn't have anything. But I went out and I was able to sell my business to somebody, and they trusted me enough to write me a check. After they wrote that check, I then got on the phone and I started providing the service I promised. I didn't exactly know how I was going to do it, but I had promised them that I would. And so I needed to keep my integrity and provide the service I promised. But because they had written the check, I was able to quit my job and do this full time. So I got that one client who paid me. Then I sold another client who wrote a check and paid me as well. So I hired somebody. Then I went out and got a couple more clients, and I hired a few more people. And that process kept going. And every time I got a new client, I was able to bring on a new teammate. But only after I got all these clients that were writing me checks, paying me money to provide what I had promised. Okay? So sell, design, build. Sell it first, then design it, then you can build it. But that's the key concept. So remember that. Okay? Key principle number 3. These are hopefully good notes, right? Some of you might disagree. I'm a strong believer that right now, especially in your age range, right, in high school or in college, that execution is much more important than uniqueness. How many of you guys have a business idea that's on your mind right now? All right, you guys, this is fantastic. So a lot of you already have an idea that you're thinking about, right? It might be extremely unique and it might not be. But if you execute and you do it properly, the execution piece of it is much more important than how unique your idea is. It's an interesting thought. Everybody's trying to come up with the next Twitter or the next Facebook or the next MySpace. But there are a lot of businesses that are working with those platforms already. Or, being able to, not necessarily go for the ballpark in something so creative that it takes you a year or two to think of it. But to get out there and get started with the experience will gain you more than you know. Here's a quote: "Don't neglect powerful opportunities simply because they don't seem unique. You're much more likely to find success by building on established ideas, models, and technology." So just start with something simple. Right now is the perfect time. Start with something simple. And then with your energy, with your excitement, with your passion, out-hustle the rest of them. Out-hustle them. So use hustle as a strategy. You can do that. If you run faster and you work harder, you can beat out your competition. Okay? So hustle as a strategy. And just get out there and do it. It's so important. For those of you who have an idea, that raise your hands. How many have started the business from those ideas? All right. This is good. Well, wonderful. So get out there and just do it.